Are you following me, my channel mammals? I went to get this platter, this charger, and I wanted to tell you how it's unfolded itself to us. So come on through. And it's not quite what we expected for the last stage of this work, but it makes sense. We were very eager to start the plan of the staples, you know, like this book, How to Mend China, showed us with the staples. Let's see, where was that? Those are the holes for the staples, remember? And then here are the staple. Okay. This was a much more difficult task than we thought, because the book talks about where you get the supplies, but they don't make them anymore. This wire that they make the staples out of is flat on one side, and it's out of a few different kinds of materials, but it has a spring in it. It's a type of spring metal, so it's got a peen to it, and you can't get this anymore. So you would have to do all kinds of things to get this to be exactly right. And they used to do this kind of work all the time. So they had the supply houses for it. They had the jewelry supply places where you could get that particular wire. See, here's some staples in here. And see those staples holding that knob on? Staples holding this beautiful dish together. And so forth. There's another staple here, and another one there, and another one over here. And so all these things, I mean, they had so many wonderful supplies to work with, but we started realizing we just don't have access to those supplies. So we decided to go to the next stage, which is another stage in the history of, I don't know, thinking. Ceramics, but thinking also. It's just a wonderful story that we ran into. In Japan, when they first started painting the line, they painted these, after they did the mending, whatever means it was, maybe it was with staples or some other means, then they would paint the actual cracks, just like I used that black glue, you know, which I didn't even know about this concept myself, but I just was inspired to use that black glue on that white butter house. And because I wanted to emphasize the story. And the Japanese made a movement called kintsugi. I think it's K-I-N-T, which is silent, U-G-I, kintsugi maybe. And they decided to celebrate breakage and imperfections. And I like to see it a little bit differently, because I think the general thought there was to kind of acknowledge that there are, that everybody has problems. And I like to acknowledge just the ongoing beauty, you know, the way things evolve. Mistakes and problems often encourage us to think of new ways to do things. Usually when there's a problem, a trouble, you think of a new idea. And I just love that kind of, that sense of things, that nothing is ever really broken. It's really moving forward and moving us forward. And it's not something that's done to us to think that way. It's when we kind of run into a snafu here or there, we just naturally come to a better idea. And so that's why I love that butter house. And so what I wanted to do is emulate the way that the Japanese would paint these cracks and crevices. Oh, great. Oh, I got it. I thought I was going to have a hard time opening this. So I had fun looking into it a little bit, and they use a gold paint mixed with a gold dust, which I don't have. But, and look, here's my little kintsugi. This is a whole pile of double-faced tape, and I was looking for a bowl to put these in, and these are all kind of, well, they're not really stuck together. They're just stacked together. And I thought, oh, I can put these here. Isn't that funny? Well, before I start painting this, and I'm also going to show you pictures, maybe you've already seen them in the video, of beautiful, beautiful pieces of pottery that they have, that are in museums now because of their beautiful kintsugi workmanship. And so, but before I start, I have to do my duty to ongoing progress by reminding everybody to be a subscriber. It's a simple thing to do. It's just hit the subscribe button and somehow that keeps our video going. And it also helps to share the video far and wide. If all of us sent it out to the world of our own, we would find the world coming together and mended. Actually, probably. And we have that work to do before us. And also to be sure to comment, because it's the most fulfilling part. To me, it's the extension of these little videos are just a hint, a glint. They're just a little spark of light. But the real communication, the real discovery, the real invention comes through our conversation. And then there's another way, in a more physical way, to contribute for those who would like to join Patreon for our channel. And it's a wonderful concept where a little tiny bit from a lot of people helps this us to be able to afford to continue doing this wonderful work together. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little brush to start with. I'm a little nervous because I haven't done this kind of brushwork in a long time, but I think if the channel mammals can just move to one side more, I can see, and I can just start painting on this, okay? And then I'll turn it over and carry on in the back. So you're just following the crack and accentuating it. Goes all the way to there. I know one time Heather was being interviewed in New York by the New York Times. She was an award-winning window designer, and she won all the awards for the windows every year. From I think it was the New York Times who gave these awards, and our windows at MacKenzie-Childs were so extraordinary that they interviewed her. And in her talk, she spoke about our peculiarities, MacKenzie-Childs' peculiarities. And I was kind of chuckling in the background when I heard her say that, because I thought, what a funny word to use to describe us. And I looked it up, and I'm going to find the definition of it. It's actually a beautiful word. I really loved it after that, and I've used it ever since. So it's celebrating the peculiarities, the very special individual nuances of each individual idea at whatever stage it is. Every stage is beautiful. I need some turpentine. I'll be right back. Well, I said I was a little bit nervous to start because I hadn't done anything like this before. And it was no time, and I had no concern. It just draws you in, literally. It just says, come and play with me, follow me. And this is exactly what I did. And I just think it is so beautiful. It's got a lot that I need to clean off right now, just in general, of residue from glue and so forth, which I can do. I just need to get a good solvent for the glue. But basically, this is the idea. And don't you think it's more beautiful than it ever, I don't know what kind of light shows it the best to you. My channel mammals, tell me, just like this or just moving it around? All I can say is, I think it's more beautiful than anything else that this plate ever was. It just is a layer upon layer of innovation and inspiration, and love, tender love. You know, somebody wrote and said, it was the cutest comment. She said, I can't believe I'm sitting here watching a few people gluing together a broken object. And she went on to say, it just shows how your enthusiasm for this project has made, how did you say it, has inspired me to appreciate it, you know, in a whole new level. And I think that it's inspired me too. It's just, I never would have, I would have thought it would have looked kind of superficial, and it looks so rich and so intentionally bright. And it's like the rivers are little tributaries coming in to this wonderful swirling mass of glaze and color. It's just like a sunset with a silver lining, only this is with a gold lining. I'm going to do the back as well. I think it'll be beautiful with the drips of the glaze and with the terracotta, but I still need to prepare a little bit in the back more. I hadn't got all the glue off of it. So I'll do that, and we'll be on our way. But it really does teach us, doesn't it, a lesson. Just there's never an end. There's never an end. It just keeps on growing and glowing as we keep discovering, instead of, oh no, you know, this is terrible. Instead, oh yes, this is an opportunity. And that's what happens to our wonderful experiences in every facet of life. So off we go. Have a wonderful time, and it was really fun sharing the whole project with you. We'll meet again soon. Bye-bye.